The truth about Slicex? It's a damn creative tool, and it offers some features whose power you may never have discovered. Hi. Slicex is a loop slicer. Loop, drum loop, percussion loop. This word alone is meanwhile quite negative. Some people seem to reject loops almost religiously, with arguments like wanting to be unique, using other people's work would be cheating, and many more. I agree with this to some extent, but are loops really the evil itself? At the very end, and especially with drum and percussion loops, they are nothing else than a collection of single samples brought into a context. Let me say it again. Nothing else than a collection of single samples. Using samples doesn't seem to be on the blacklist. So I think this religion is more about how to use loops and not about loops in general. I personally find most available loops in first place quite boring, but I still use them in my way. I've got here a little piece of music. Where I'm looking for some additional rhythmical elements to make it sound more interesting and add more groove. To be honest, I'm a horrible rhythm creator, so I searched for a way to get some of these happy little accidents, ideas I most likely never would have come up with myself and which I can build up on now. So let's take a little tour how. So why loops? Well, even if you don't like how a loop sounds as a whole, that doesn't mean that you don't like one or the other part of it if they would be in a different context. And what about extending this idea to multiple loops? Taking off parts we like and combine them to something new. But it would be wrong to assume this single experiment would always bring us the desired and most perfect result. So we still lack of variety. But doing this all by hand would be a ridiculous amount of work. We need to reach out for a helping hand. Following this idea of multiple loops to increase variety, I took a quite extreme example. Took a random collection of old trance loops and inserted them into this downtempo project. The original loops are recorded at a tempo of 138 BPM. We got here a tempo difference of 38 BPM to demonstrate that you can really take any loops you like or have, no matter which tempo, no matter from which genre. I just did some smaller edits here. Because of having already a snare rhythm going, I cut out some of the claps of these loops. Second, I set them to slice map stretching mode to tempo sync the loops to the new project without altering the sound quality. If you haven't prepared your loops like I showed in the previous video, you can put the loops in separate Slicex instances instead and arrange the MIDI the same way like I did here with the audio. For this idea to work, we need to make one big audio file out of them. So we select them all and consolidate them to a new file. This is what we want to work with. Open a new instance of Slicex and drag the consolidated file over. The best resolution of the slices are half beats. In the audio clips, we have detail control on how to chop a file. These are sadly not present in Slicex, and the existing options only give us 16ths, beats or bars. We need to do a little trick to auto-create half-beat slices. Right-click the name field and double the tempo of the file. Now the available options give us 30 seconds, half beats and 2 beats. We gratefully go with the half beats and put back the tempo as it was before. Our half beat slices remained. To put the pattern back to its proper length, we just dump it again. To avoid accidents, we deactivate the auto dump option. We are in control now. Having everything prepared, we can now have some fun with one of the greatest features of Slicex. Dump the score randomly. To judge now what sounds good and what doesn't, we need to listen to it in context. There are 3 ways. Drag the Slicex clip over to your music that you've got the last bar reach into your tune. Set a loop range of 1 bar and hit play. Not bad already, not bad. But now we want to listen to the different options the randomized clip gives us. Set the quantize value to half beats and have the Slicex clip selected. By using Shift and left or right arrows, you can now nudge the clip to play different parts and step through it until you hear something you really like. Duplicate now the clip and make it unique. Repeat this step as often as you like. I'm always amazed how many useful parts you can get out of a single random action. Once you've got one or more results you like, you can even fine-tune them. Play around with grabbing single notes and put them to different pitches or just layer some. The sky is the limit. Once you're happy, consolidate the final loop and, for example, put it again into a new Slicex. Because of being a native generator, you can make extensive use of the note properties like note pan or note pitch, which work per voice. Put it into a patcher. Enable multiple outputs and route single slices to them. Process them with different effects. Again, the sky is the limit. The biggest disadvantage I found with this first method is that you're restricted to preview a single bar. This gets easily boring, and it's of course restricted in terms of changes over time. So I tried further and came up with a second way. Make, for example, 2 unique copies of the original Slicex pattern. Resize them all to the last bar. Take the first pattern and duplicate it to cover 4 or even 8 bars. Now you can extend your preview loop range to include harmony and rhythmical changes over time. Instead of nudging the clip like we did before, we now nudge the content. Select all the duplicates and pick the slip tool. With still the half-beat quantize value selected, we can now drag the content of all clips together to the right to get new variations. Again, as soon as you found a setting you like, you can duplicate the clip again and proceed like mentioned before. Not only that this second method gives you more preview range, it opens up another creative way. What if we replace one of the clips with a unique one? We can just select the unique clip and slip edit it even further to find some variation which matches. You can extend this even further to a second or third unique clip. And again, the sky is the limit. Out of curiosity, I tried a third way, which is based on a second, but with a different approach. Here we've got the same situation like before. The original pattern made unique 2 times, but here resized to any place. We have duplicates of the original 1-bar clip. But instead of nudging or slip editing the clip, we use now Slicex itself. Just run the random action again and again, until you hear something you like. Every time you get now a new randomized content. You can extend this over time by replacing some clips with the unique copies and have different results over time. Or you can combine methods 2 and 3. First randomize and later slip edit the unique ones. In such a small amount of time, you can come up with such great results, even if you don't have any knowledge about this topic at all. Your results are creative and 100% unique, even with having used loops. It's simply amazing. So simple to set up and use. Applicable for all genres and sources, and FL Studio gives you the perfect tools for that. There are perhaps millions of free loops out there, or you even have tons of them already in your library. And now you know what they're capable of. Enjoy randomizing, and thank you for watching.